everybody, Bethany here, and today we're going to be making some popcorn. So, I love popcorn. It is one of my favorite snacks. Little salt, little butter, best thing ever. But you know, I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, I don't know how popcorn pops. So I thought I'd do a little research and I thought I'd share that with you. So, the first thing I have here is a diagram. So this is a popcorn kernel. And you can see this like brown space on the outside. So that's the hull. So that's also called the pericarp. And then all of this white space that's in here, that is all starch. So you may not know this, but popcorn is a seed, and if it wasn't going to get popped, it would actually grow a corn stalk, a popcorn stalk. And the starch is what the baby plant eats to grow. So then inside the popcorn, we also have a lot of little itty bitty water droplets. And that's actually very important for popping. And then we also have the germ. So that's the little itty bitty plant before it actually grows. It's just like the little start of it. So that's what popcorn looks like on the inside. I have a tiny piece of one here, but it might be a little hard to see. So yeah, that is a piece of popcorn that is cut in half. And then you can see this is the order of the popcorn popping. So you remember there's a lot of starch inside the popcorn, and that's what you see come out when the popcorn pops. So this is all the starch that's on the inside of the kernel. So it starts out like this, and then the water inside the kernel starts getting really, really hot. Now, what happens when water gets really hot? It starts to create steam. So the steam is trapped inside the kernel. And eventually, the steam gets so hot and has so much energy that it starts pushing its way outside the kernel. So you go up the line and it starts stretching out until eventually it's all popped out like this. Now, because I really like popcorn, I want to make sure that as many of these little kernels turn out like that as possible. So I was thinking to myself, why not do an experiment to see what's the best way to store popcorn so that when I microwave it, it produces a lot. So that's what we're going to do today. So I have here a cup full of popcorn kernels. So this is 1/4 of a cup. I measured it out already. And there's going to be 4 of these. So the first one is just going to be the normal kernels like you see here. And then we're going to have another one that I'm going to fill up with water, so the kernels are going to soak. Because we know that the little itty bitty water droplets inside the kernel help the popcorn kernel to pop. So I was thinking maybe if we cover them in water, they'll have even more water inside them and then they'll pop more. I don't know, we'll see. And then the next one we have is vinegar. Now I was thinking with vinegar breaks down a lot of different things. Maybe when it comes to vinegar, the hull, the outside of the kernel, would maybe break down and make it easier for the popcorn to pop out, for the starch to pop out. And then we also have oil. So I'm going to be using oil to cover up the ones in the 4th cup. And I'm hoping maybe with the oil, since oil heats up really hot, that'll help it to pop because the steam will get really hot and it'll pop more with that. Of course, I'm also going to compare that to just the normal popcorn straight out of the package. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know what's going to happen. What do you think? All right, I am back and I have made a lot of popcorn. That took longer than I thought it would. Okay, so this is our control group. So this is the popcorn that was stored by itself. It did not get any special treatment with the water, it's just, or the oil or the vinegar. It is just popcorn out of the package. So you can see it actually produced quite a bit. There's still some seeds left. It was originally filled up to around here or so. And, but there's still quite a few kernels left. But if you notice, they're actually a little bit darker than they were before they were popped. So I'd say that's pretty good. So that is our control group. That's the one that we didn't do anything to. All right, so next I'm going to bring in the oil popcorn. So this is the popcorn that I soaked in oil before putting it in the microwave. Well, I do believe that our control group actually produced more popcorn. So if you compare the two cups, they're about the same. There might be just a little bit more in here, but there's far less popped kernels here. So I don't think the oil is the best way to soak the popcorn. So we'll put that one back. And the next one we have is the cup that had the popcorn and vinegar in it. And as you can see, oh my goodness, it really didn't produce that much. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 kernels popped out of all of this. That's interesting. So I guess the vinegar isn't the best way to soak the popcorn either. Oh, a few kernels escaped. Oh dear. And if you notice, what's interesting in here is some of them are still really light, and then some of them are kind of dark. So I'm wondering if maybe the vinegar got into the popcorn kernels a little bit, and because it created holes in the outer shell of the popcorn, maybe the steam just went out instead of forcing the popcorn open. Well, that's interesting. Now, it is time for the soaked in water. So we were thinking if there's more water, maybe there's more steam and it'll pop better. So let's bring this one over. Well, that's even less than the vinegar. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oop, and another escaped kernel. Well, maybe they got too wet. I wonder. So it looks like the best way to store popcorn is just in its normal bag without adding any oil or vinegar or water to it for it to sit in. Now, depending on how you make popcorn, you might need to add a little bit of oil, like if you're making it on the stove. In the microwave, it's not quite as necessary. So maybe you can try this at home and see if different locations for your bag can work. In some cases, like I will keep popcorn out on the counter, or I could try putting it in the fridge, or I could try putting it in the freezer, or I could try putting it in the basement and see if that makes a difference. Maybe the starting temperature makes a difference in popcorn. So I don't know. That might be another experiment in the future, and you can try that with your parents at home. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.